Today we'll solve multiple choice questions from المعاصر book, page 122. Look at with me about question number 1. The angle of measure 100 degree is base angle. 100 degree we called it obtuse angle because the measure here greater than 90 degree and less than 180. Then question number 1, 100 degree we called it obtuse angle. Obtuse angle, okay, because the measure greater than 90 degree and less than 180, okay, 100 greater than 90 degree and less than 100 degree. We know 90 degree we called it right angle triangle. If we have this triangle we called it right angle triangle, and the measure of this angle will be 90 degree, we called it right angle, and 180 straight line. We have straight lines, this we called it straight angle. The measure of straight angle will be 180, and 100 degree we called it obtuse angle because the measure here greater than 90 degree and less than 180. Question number 2 is the measure of an obtuse angle. Obtuse angle will be greater than 90 degree, like 100 degree, so you must choose greater than here 90 degree. Choose letter B. Question number 3. The acute angle or the angle is 90 degree, we called it acute angle or right angle. 90 degree here we called it right angle. Choose letter P. The measure of 90 degree we called it right angle. Question number 4. The measure of acute angle less than obtuse angle. We have this angle, we called it acute angle. Acute angle, the measure of it greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. Then the acute angle will be less than the measure of obtuse angle, because obtuse angle, the measure of it greater than 90 degree and less than 180. Then the measure of acute angle less than the measure of an obtuse angle. Choose less than. Question number 5. The polygon which has 4 sides we called it what? Quadrilateral. The quadrilateral, okay, the polygon which has 4 sides we called it quadrilateral. Choose letter D. Such that square, rectangle, parallelogram, okay. Then the polygon which has 4 sides called it quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Question 5. Choose letter D. Okay. Question number 6. The parallelogram with 4 sides angle called it what? We have 4 right angle. In parallelogram it will be what? We have 4 right angle, we called it square or rectangle. Then you must choose letter D. A polygon here or parallelogram with 4 right angle, we called it square. Choose letter D. Question 7. The quadrilateral which has 2 pairs of parallel sides opposite each other, we called it what? Parallelogram. The parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides opposites of each other. Choose letter E. We called it parallelogram. The quadrilateral which has 2 pairs of parallel sides opposite each other, we called it parallelogram. Question 8. The quadrilateral which has or which all sides are the same length and not angles are right, we called it rhombus. All sides here are equal in lengths and not right angle about the angles. The quadrilateral which all sides are the same length, meaning equal lengths, and all angles are right angle, okay, it will be square. We called it square. But if this angle, all of angles not right, we called it rhombus. Okay, again, question 8, the quadrilateral which all sides are the same length and all angles are right angles, we called it square. But if all angles not right, we called it rhombus. We must know the difference between rhombus and square. Square, all sides are equal lengths and each angle of it equal 90 degree. 90 degree here, then we called it square. It's right. All angles are right angles. All angles are right angles in square and all sides are equal lengths. But in rhombus, all sides are equal lengths and all angles not right. Question 9. Square has base axis symmetry. Square has 4 axis symmetry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Axis symmetry here, it's meaning line can divide the square to parts equality. Then the square has 1 axis symmetry or 4, right, 4 axis symmetry. Question number 10. You are making sign using quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides by not right angles. With the shape of the following could use what? We have 2 pairs sides here, 2 pairs of parallel sides would be parallelogram, and not right angle we have what we called it, we have 2 parallel about base, we called it rhombus design such that a kite. Okay, so you must choose rhombus, letter P. You are making design using quadrilateral with 2 pairs parallel sides but not right angle. With the shape of the following could use what? Rhombus. Question 10, choose letter P. We called it rhombus. Rhombus, all sides are equal in lengths and 2 diagonals not perpendicular. In rectangle not perpendicular here, and in rhombus all sides are equal in length and 2 diagonals are perpendicular. Okay, question 10, you are making design. Don't choose kite. Okay, we have 2 pairs parallel sides but not right angle. With the shape of the following could use here rhombus. Question 11. The 4 sides are equal lengths in square and rhombus. Rhombus, all sides are equal lengths. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 sides equal lengths in rhombus, and 2 diagonals are perpendicular. Then the 4 sides are equal in length in square and rhombus. Choose letter P. Number 12. The 4 angles are equal in measure in square and rectangle. 4 angles are equal in measure in rectangle, okay, and square. We have here 2 diagonals are equal in lengths. We call it diagonal and will be perpendicular, but in rhombus 2 diagonals are perpendicular and not equal in lengths. Question 13. Which of the following is parallelogram? We know rectangle is parallelogram. Rectangle is parallelogram. Okay, but kite not parallelogram. For bits about parallelogram, each of the sides are equal in lengths and parallel. Then you can choose rectangle. Choose letter P about question 13. Question 14. The rectangle which has 2 adjacent sides are equal in length. We called it rectangle convert to square. Rectangle convert to square if 2 adjacent sides are equal in length. We called it length and width. If length equal width, we can call this rectangle convert to square. Convert to square. Question 15. The rhombus which has right angle, we called it square. If a rhombus, all angles will be convert from acute angle or obtuse angle to right angle, we can call it square. Then we can call the square is a rhombus which the measure of each angle equal 90 degree. Square is a rhombus which the measure of each angle equal 90 degree, and square is a rectangle which two adjacent sides are equal lengths. Then question 15, choose square letter C.